Hey guys, I hope y'all are having a great day and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to see if we have a drugstore dupe on our hands for this new NARS Soft Matte Powder. So this is going to be going up against the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop Mattifying Powder. This one retails for $9.50 and NARS retails for $36, so that's a really big price difference. And based on how both of these have worn individually on me, I really do think we have a dupe, but we're definitely going to test it out. So I'm going to have one powder on each side of the face. We're going to see how the finishes compare to one another. We're going to see if one of them looks more natural or more flawless than the other. And then of course we're going to wear test it during the day, and we're going to see which one keeps my makeup more set and more shine free as we go throughout the day. So let's get started because I'm really curious about this. I really do think we have a dupe on our hands, so let's jump right into it. Okay, I'm going to apply all of my other makeup first before we set it because I'm using all liquid and cream products. So I do already have some of my Danessa Myricks primer on. I have that on in just the T-zone area, and then we're going to go in with some foundation. I'm using Makeup by Mario. I hope that y'all don't get sick of seeing this foundation in every video, but I really like this foundation, but I'm using it today in particular. This is the same one that I used to test the NARS powder with, but I'm using it today because I think that you can really see how matte the powders are if you use them on top of a non-mattifying foundation, one that's meant to be like a bit more of like a luminous finish. So that's why I'm using this one. So I'm just gonna apply this on both sides of the face. I'm doing like a half a pump on each side of the face. I'm putting on just a little bit more on each side on the cheek area. My skin has been breaking out in some areas lately, and I'm assuming it's from wearing a mask lately because I've been wearing one more than I have been. So I've been noticing a couple of breakouts here and there. So I'm just going to put on just a little tiny bit more on each side. So I just added a little color corrector under the eye, and now I'm going in with my Anastasia concealer. I'm just skipping like a couple of steps here and there just so that the video isn't so drawn out. If you're interested in the shades that I wear in these products, I'll have everything listed down below. Alright, I'm setting just the under eye area. This is the only part of the face that I'm going to be applying powder right now. I just want to set this area now just so that the concealer doesn't crease. Today I'm going to be using my Tower 28 cream blush. This is the shade Beach Please. And my Say Beauty cream bronzer in deep bronze. This is like my go-to bronzer. And then I'm doing one final blend pretty much everywhere where one product is meeting the other, just making sure everything is just, you know, nice and blended together. Okay, now we are ready to test out the setting powder. So we're going to do the NARS powder first on this side of the face. This one is the shade Orchid. No, it's not called Orchid. I don't know why I said Orchid. It's called Offshore. I don't know where Orchid came from. This is what the NARS powder looks like. I'm going to be using these two brushes today because they have like similar brush heads. Neither one of these are usual powder brushes for me, but I'm going to use these two today. So I'm going to start off with the NARS powder, and I'm picking up about that much, and we're going to build up as we go along if we feel like we need to. So I'm just going to start by pressing this powder into the face, and you should be able to tell that it is instantly mattifying the face. So I like to apply my powder on the areas where I have like foundation and concealer first, and then I'll go over the areas where I have the bronzer and the blush, just so that I'm not picking up too much of the pigment from the bronzer and blush and spreading it all over the face. So you can tell as I put this powder on top of the cream blush that it did mattify that area really nicely. So it definitely mattifies on contact. It gives you like this smooth blurred look, but it still looks really nice and natural. And just for the sake of really testing both of these powders out, I am going to go back and build them up, but I just want to do one layer first. So this is the powder that I showed you at the beginning of the video. This is not the one that I'm using. This one is the shade Caramel. This is the one that I'm going to use. I have to hold it because my package is broken, but as you can see, I have really hit pan on this. This one is the shade Tan. So this is the one I'm using today. And I'm going to apply this one with my NYX brush. So same thing, I'm picking up about that much. You know what, maybe I should have used, let me see something real quick. No, I was gonna say maybe I should have used the other shade because it's closer to the shade of NARS, but no, it's not. So I'm gonna stick with the shade Tan, but it does look like a slightly different color. So we'll see what it looks like when I apply it. So I'm gonna do the same thing. And can you see, just like the NARS powder, it's instantly mattifying as you apply it. It's taking away the shine, but it's laying very nicely. It still looks really like skin-like, even though it's mattifying. And same thing with the blush, like when you put the powder over the blush, it instantly takes away that shine, but it still looks natural. Okay, so before we go in and build both of the powders up, let me know if you notice any type of difference. The shades may be a little different, but other than that, is there one that you like better than the other? Does one look more skin-like, more flawless? Just let me know your thoughts. So far, I don't think I see a difference. I think they look exactly the same, aside from the shade. I think I like the shade of this one better. It's a little more cool toned. That's why I like it better, but other than that, I think they're laying the same. But let's go in and build them up. So I'm going to apply one more layer of my NARS powder. So I have about that much. And I'm just going to apply the second layer just like I did the first layer. I'm just patting it in. I'm trying my best to avoid like the immediate under eye area just because I already have powder on. I haven't tested this NARS powder out on the under eye area because I usually don't like a very matte looking under eye, but this powder is so like silky and soft, I think that it would be okay to set the under eyes with. Okay, so that's 2 layers of the NARS powder over here, and then I'm gonna go in and set with my NYX powder one more time on the other side. I'm trying to make sure that I'm picking up kind of like the same amount of powder. Okay. I feel like now that I have on 2 layers of the powder, I can further see like a slight color difference. I still like the shade of the NARS one better, but aside from that, I think they look the same. Let me know what y'all think. NARS over here and NYX over here. So I can't wait to see how they wear during the day. But I think they both look really, really nice. So I'm going to finish getting ready off camera. I'll show you my finished look and then we'll start the wear test. Okay, so this is the makeup for today. So again, we have the NARS powder over here, and then we have the NYX powder over here. So I can tell you right now, because of the shade difference, but only because of the shade difference, I do like NARS better. But in terms of how they look on the skin, in terms of how matte they are, I feel like they look exactly the same so far. But you know, we'll see how they wear during the day. Let me know what your initial thoughts are. Do you like one more than the other? Let me know in the comments. So let's start with our wear test. I'm very proud of myself because it's not even 7 o'clock in the morning, so I usually don't get started with filming this early in the day. So anyway, I will be checking in at some point. I'm just going to wear the powders until I feel like one or both of them need to be refreshed. So we'll see how long that takes. So I'll see y'all later on. Okay, y'all, I'm back and it's almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So we did about 7 hours for today. So again, this is what we're looking like. We have NARS over here, and then we have the NYX powder over here. So what are you all thinking? Did one wear better than the other, or do they look like pretty much the same? Let me push my hair back a little so that we can really get a good look. So I am definitely getting shiny like in my T-zone area, but I actually think I'm a little more shiny on the NARS side. Like I think the NYX one wore a little bit better today. Like I'm looking especially right up in here. So on my nose, I think you can make out the shine. No matter what I'm wearing, no matter what foundation or what powder I'm wearing, I do always get oily on the nose first, and that usually happens after about like only a few hours. That happens with everything. But I'm looking more so at like the sides of the nose. Like I feel like right up in here I really want to refresh and like blot off this excess oil right here. I don't think I'm quite as shiny over here on the NYX side. And then same thing with my forehead. Now the lights might be altering how shiny I actually am, so keep that in mind, but I think you can make out like the shine level on my forehead, but I just feel like on the NYX side on the forehead too, not quite as shiny. So I still think that the NARS side looks okay, especially when I go and I'm gonna blot the excess powder off in just a second, so I know when I do that it'll look nice and refreshed. But I still feel like this side looks okay for having it on for 7 hours, but I just feel like the NYX side wore better. But let me just blot both sides and repowder so that we can get one more like fresh look. So I'm just gonna blot right in the T-zone area. See, already before I even go on with another layer of powder, that right there looks a lot better. But I'm also gonna blot the forehead area as well. And I don't know if you can tell, like my brows, they tend to look shiny, but that's more so the brow gel that I have on. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna go in with another layer of powder. I just don't think I need it. I feel like it looks fine just after blotting off the excess oil, so I'm gonna leave it like this. So my final thoughts on whether or not this NYX powder is a dupe, I would say yes. I think that they were similar enough to where I would consider this a drugstore dupe, but remember, I think that the NYX one actually performed just a little bit better than the NARS one. So another thing I want to point out about these two is that NARS, aside from the price that we talked about earlier, NARS is $36, NYX is only $9.50. NARS is only available in 8 shades. So again, I'm wearing the shade Offshore, and I did watch a couple other videos from people who reviewed the same shade and they thought it was a little too pink for them, which is why I really like this shade, but I know a lot of y'all don't have my same undertone. So this one is only available in 8 shades, but the NYX one is available in 12. I'm looking at the Ulta website and there are 12 shades available, but I feel like if you go to NYX, I thought that there were more than that, but there's definitely more shades available in NYX than there are in NARS. So keep that in mind too. Like if you're in my shade range and you think this particular color Offshore is going to be too cool toned for you, then you might want to look at the shade range in NYX as well. So let me show you again. This is the one that I used today. This one is the shade Tan. It's definitely much more of like a, I would say like a neutral type of shade. And then this one is the shade Caramel, just a little bit deeper than Tan, but they definitely are not as pink as that NARS powder. So just keep that in mind if you're thinking about, you know, trying to find a shade in the NARS one. But overall, I do think that if you're interested in this NARS one, but you just don't want to pay for it, I think that you can get the NYX one and get pretty much the same type of powder, especially if you have oily skin. So those are my final thoughts on this drugstore dupe alert. So let me know if you agree in the comments. I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, please let me know by giving me a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel before you head out, and I will see y'all back here for my next one. Until then, take care. Have a good one, y'all. Bye.